You know that one person, the one who shows up right in the middle of the disaster. The leaking pipe, the dead car battery, the corrupted file, the complete emotional meltdown. And they just go quiet for a second. They don't panic. They don't Google it with shaking hands. They don't spiral. They just think, and then they start doing something about it. And you're standing there, watching, quietly wondering what's wrong with you, that your very first instinct was to cry. So what actually separates these people from the rest of us? Because here's the strange part. It's not really experience. It's not raw talent. It's something quieter, something that got built in them a long time ago. And once you understand what it is, I promise you're going to start seeing it everywhere. In your friends, in your family, and maybe in the gap where you wish it lived in you. So let's talk about what's really going on in the mind of a person who knows how to fix everything. Let's start back in the late 1970s with a psychologist named Albert Bandura. He identified a concept called self-efficacy. And if you strip away all the academic language, self-efficacy is just this: your belief that you're capable of handling whatever is in front of you. Now, this is not the same as general optimism. It's not walking around thinking everything will magically be fine. It's very specific. It's the quiet feeling of, I've handled hard things before, and this thing right here, this is handleable too. And here's why that matters so much. Bandura found that this one belief dramatically changes how long a person will stick with a problem before giving up, and how much effort they'll pour in when it gets genuinely difficult. Same problem, two people. The one who believes they can figure it out, tries longer, pushes harder, and way more often, actually solves it. Not because they're smarter, because they didn't quit. So the real question becomes, where does that belief even come from? And that's where this gets personal. Think about what happens the very first time a kid actually tries to fix something, and it works, even something tiny. They jiggle the wire, and the lamp flickers on. They restart the computer, and it comes back to life. They press down on a scraped knee, and the bleeding stops. That moment does something that has nothing to do with the lamp, or the computer, or the knee. It quietly rewires how that kid sees themselves in relation to problems. Suddenly, the world isn't just something that happens to them. It's something they can reach into and change. And every single time after that, when something breaks, their nervous system doesn't drop into shutdown mode. It shifts into something closer to mild curiosity. Oh, this is a puzzle, and I've solved puzzles before. Bandura called these moments mastery experiences, and decades of research keep ranking them as the single most powerful source of self-efficacy there is. Not being told you're capable, not watching someone else do it, actually doing it yourself, with your own two hands. That's the thing that sticks. It's a learned relationship with uncertainty. And there's a second piece that fits right on top of this. Another psychologist, Julian Rotter, spent years studying what he called locus of control. That's just the degree to which you believe your own actions determine what happens to you, rather than luck, or fate, or forces outside your control. People who sit firmly on the internal end of that scale, the ones who believe their effort actually matters, don't just fix things better. Research has connected that internal sense of control with being less prone to depression, coping with stress without dismantling their whole lives, and simply persisting longer when things get hard. And it shows up across different cultures and age groups. The plain sense that what you do matters turns out to be one of the most protective psychological traits a person can have. But here's the part I really want you to hear. Most of these people were not born this way. It started in very specific moments, usually in childhood, where someone either handed them a little bit of agency or left them no choice but to find it themselves. Sometimes it was a parent who said, "I'm not going to just give you the answer. I'm going to sit here and help you figure it out." And sometimes, honestly, it was the opposite. It was a parent who wasn't there to help at all, so the kid had no choice but to learn to help themselves. Two completely different childhoods, and yet both roads can lead to the same place. Now here's something that genuinely surprises people. From the outside, this all looks like confidence, but it's actually something else entirely. When a fixer walks into a broken situation, they are not secretly certain it'll work out. They're not holding some magic guarantee the rest of us didn't get. They feel the same uncertainty you feel. The difference is what that uncertainty means to them. For most of us, not knowing feels like a verdict, like proof that we're already sunk. For the fixer, not knowing is just the starting point. It's where the interesting part begins. There's actually a name for this. Psychologists call it tolerance of ambiguity. It's the ability to sit inside a situation where you don't yet know the answer and not completely fall apart while you work it out. Because people who struggle with ambiguity need resolution fast. They need to know it's going to be okay right now. And when they can't get that reassurance, the anxiety takes the wheel. They freeze, or they quietly hand the whole thing to whoever seems calm and back away. The fixer, somewhere along the line, learned how to be okay in that uncomfortable in-between space. Okay, but I want to pause here and be honest about something, because this video would be doing you a disservice if I skipped it. Not everyone who knows how to fix everything is doing it from a place of strength. Some people learn to fix things because it was how they earned their place. The love, the approval, it was hidden inside the solution. At some point in their lives, standing there helpless was genuinely risky, so their nervous system made a quiet decision. I will never be helpless again. And that's not really a superpower. That's a coping mechanism wearing a superpower's costume. The tell is subtle. Ask them to let someone else handle something and they physically cannot relax. They hover. They offer suggestions nobody asked for. They need it to be fixable, and not only for your sake, because an unfixed thing somewhere out in their world can feel like an unfixed thing inside of them. But then there's the other kind of fixer, and this is the one really worth talking about. The person who fixes things out of pure, genuine curiosity, because broken things honestly fascinate them. To them, the gap between not working and working is one of the most interesting places in the entire world. These are the people who will take apart something they already fixed, just to understand it a little better. They'll ask questions that have no practical use at all. They'll explain what went wrong in a level of detail nobody asked for, absolutely delighted, like they just stumbled onto something beautiful. They didn't fall in love with the outcome, they fell in love with competence itself, the process, the figuring out. And spending time around people like that is one of the most quietly recalibrating things you can do for yourself, because what they model, without even trying, is something powerful. That not knowing how to do something is just a temporary state. That broken is not a permanent condition. That you really can put your hands on a problem and move it. And maybe, listening to all of this, you're realizing you're one of these people, and you've just never stopped to think about why. Or maybe you're realizing you're not, that this whole way of being feels kind of foreign to you. And if that's you, I want to say this next part directly. The reason you outsource your broken things, why you hand them off, why you wait for someone to save you, it is not a character flaw. It's a history. It's a set of experiences that quietly taught you that problems are things that happen to you, instead of things you get to reach into and change. And here's the part that matters most. That history is not permanent. Because Bandura's entire argument, the whole architecture of self-efficacy, is that it gets built through experience, through small wins, tiny little moments of, I tried, and it actually worked. Not giant heroic rescues, just, you tightened the screw yourself. You made the phone call you were dreading. You sat with the hard thing for 10 minutes instead of handing it away. That is where it starts. So here's what I really want to leave you with. Understanding why you're wired this way is only half of it. The harder half is doing something with that understanding. Because awareness, all on its own, has a way of just becoming more material for your brain to loop over. You see the pattern, you name it, and nothing actually moves. That gap between insight and real change is exactly what we spend our time on here at Deep Ravines Psychology Lab. So if you're the kind of person who gets it intellectually but keeps landing in the same loops, the same hesitation, the same "I'll start properly next week," stick around with us. Next time, we're going deep on why we keep waiting for the perfect moment to change and the quiet psychology that keeps us stuck in one more week forever. Until then, go tighten one small screw and take care of your mind.